Fine. How are you? Yay. Huh? Well, my biggest challenge today is getting through the BOEs and getting the names right. You know, as they hand you a card and you go, what the heck is this? We'll see. Yeah. I still marveled at times where I'd be near the end of the line and I'd see this 9-inch deep pile of 3x5 cards at Dennis's feet, you know.
Oh, what is this?
Yes, I'm sure it will be. Bye.
Okay, we have a change on script. At the very end today, we want to call
Okay.
Jean Paquette and Nicole. I'll call them up. Jim will do it. He's going to call them up and do the Creed and French. Do the Creed and French. Very nice. Very nice. Morning, Laura.
What?
Morning.
Hi.
I don't have any changes to the script.
You don't have any changes to this? You don't have any changes to this script?
Yeah, do you want to put anything on there?
Oh, I brought you a balloon.
Oh, that was the right answer.
Why?
They were giving out
For
balloons
the
today.
speaker.
Thank-
Who got into the country, which was good, he wants you to all have a balloon.
Thank you. I'm very impressed. I love his theme music. George Thorogood.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yes.
Can we have music like when he walks the stage, they like wild thing or something?
Well, his theme music is Bad to the Bone
Yeah.
by
Bad
George
Bone.
by George Thorogood. Yeah.
Bad the Bone. I like that.
That's good.
I like Bad the Bone.
Yeah, we need peppy music.
Yeah, we need peppy. I've been asking for peppy. I get overruled. For some reason, Dennis Osterwich is still here because the sound crew still don't listen to me to put friggin' music
That's
in.
why I put my own soundtrack together last year, and we just did.
Evidently, Dennis has had some
Dennis
kind
is
of.
I
still
gave a list
controlling
of
the
songs
music?
I
Are you
sang.
serious?
He was always against it.
Church
Always.
outside of it.
Really?
Yeah, me and him always tussle on that. And this is his. I'll let him do it. I delegate.
My golly, they have
What was he choosing, like Sinatra and Snoop Dogg?
free Facebook page for the new club with the Claire that we're doing in Johnson County.
You mean a Facebook ad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marlene said you offered a free one, so.
Optimist International is offering a free one to each district. Either you. But yeah, send me a note so I can put it on the big board or whatever it is I'm trying to put together so I can keep track of all these things.
Had to have a little companies this morning. Swift's, which is Jim's district, was the Steelers' last year. And I know they didn't do it just for me, but I mean, undermine it. I'll be damned if we're not going to build it. But we're going to. I'll do it if you're not going to do it.
Right.
We're all working. And Ruth Nelson, of course. Jules. Well, he's offered.
I've offered.
And we probably could go three just in the I'd love to get that Kansas, Kansas, one of the original clubs done. Because we talked about that at the last international president's lunch. Let's get all those clubs back, at least in theory, and have them walk across the stage.
I'm on. I've been told by the boss I can be on the road just about all of September. So, pick a week.
Mr. Oliver.
Nick's going to get a BOE award, okay? But he's going to be on the stage.
Yeah, you and I.
Yeah, you guys are going to be handing out. So you manage when his name is called. Then
Okay.
So maybe he shouldn't wear one, even though he already has it. But
No, he'll get a star then.
yeah, yeah. Okay, he'll have one, and we just give him.
Give him the star.
yeah, while you're up
There
there.
we go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he's in the list. So, but he got somebody else. He didn't know he had to be on stage, so I just told him.
Oh, for the handing out of the things.
And the elusive David Arroyo got you last night. He got Dennis last year. He didn't show up for anything last year. And then when we were introducing the governors the last day, we didn't even know this. He hadn't been there. And all of a sudden he's out. And I'm kind of going through the lines like, David.
And that's why there were a couple of miscommunications last night with the governors because I did not know Alan was here from Cal South. I did not know that Terry was here from Pacific Southeast.
Question, since the speaker is here now, are we using him at the time we're supposed to be using him at 9 o'clock?
No, we're still doing him late.
Oh, shit. He's late. So we're going to do pace setters,
We're going to do, yeah,
golden builders, DOE.
hang on a minute.
EITN.
Yeah, what's the time?
He comes on right after the OIF presentation.
Okay. Got him.
Oh, my. Well, he can wake them up.
He will wake him up because we got those two.
When are you doing BOE? Do I need to go back to my seat? Because I introduce so soon. I'll just stay back. I'll just
Yeah.
stay back.
So, Jim, but everything's moved up an hour, right? Or we schedule the original time now?
From the original.
No, you're scheduled for the original time. We just bumped.
10? Okay.
No, with the
No,
BOEs.
it is moved up. It is
Okay, so
from
it's
what
nine.
Rhonda sent us originally. It's earlier.
So you're at 9:15.
Yeah, so it's about an hour earlier than that
My
original.
schedule screwed up.
Golden
I was
Builder.
looking at it on my phone.
Golden Builders is at 9:10. So it's right in the front end of it, first 15.
Back here when.
You too.
All right.
They'll probably bring you back.
Well, what he's going to do is he's got his computer hooked up to the internet. Okay. He found it on YouTube. Okay. So he's going to play directly from there.
On Wisconsin. Okay.
On
Jim
Wisconsin.
comes out. Jim comes out.
I want Rock Chalk Jim.
Ron, you introduce.
I introduced him, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Please find a seat and silence those cell phones. We're going to begin here just shortly. Please find your seats.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, she is. Yes, I am. Good morning, and welcome to the first business session of the Albuquerque Convention. For the convenience of those around you, please silence all electronic devices. And now, please welcome immediate past International President Dave Bruns.
Buenos dias. Bonjour. Good morning, Albuquerque. Are you having a great convention? It's my pleasure to introduce to you my friend, a leader in optimism throughout the world, a fan of the Wisconsin Badgers, but did pay out-of-state tuition to the Kansas Jayhawks, and thank him for that again. Together we can, on Wisconsin, your international president, please rise and meet Jim Kondrasik. President Jim, you will be presiding over the convention the next couple days, and we'll have some business to do. And in my profession, we use one of these. I hope it's like Andy Taylor in the old Andy Griffith show that you don't need to use this. But if you do, it's my pleasure to pass the gavel to you. We all love you, we respect you, and we thank you for all that you've done and all you continue to do and will do in the future for Optimist International. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jim Kondrasik.
I now declare the first business session of the convention to order. Had to use it. As I indicated last evening, it's truly an exciting time to be an optimist. As president, I've seen firsthand the great work that is being performed by optimists around the world. In particular, I'd like to thank all the optimists who have renewed their commitment to youth and their commitment to growth. Together we can. This morning we have the pleasure of recognizing those governors who have earned the prestigious Pacesetter Award. This award is given to each international convention to those governors whose districts have started at least 2 clubs and are positive in membership. I am proud to say that we have 9 districts having met these requirements. Please join me in recognizing the governors who are leading the way in bringing out the best in youth in their district and in themselves.
This year's Pacesetter Award winners are, from Capital, Virginia, Governor Gail Headley. From the Caribbean District, Governor Dave Wilson. From Central Ontario, Governor Mac Rumble. From the Dakotas, Manitoba, Minnesota District, Governor Terry Gorman. From Eastern Missouri, Governor Lister Florence Jr., who could not be with us today. Cheryl Parker is here to accept this award on his behalf. From North Florida, Governor Sonny Kinchlow. From South Carolina, Governor Ginny Ricker. From South Texas, Governor Carol Hodges. And from Southwestern Ontario, Governor Tracy Huxley. Let's have a round of applause for all the 2017 Pacesetter Award winners.
I would now like to welcome to the lectern the chair of the new club building committee, Jim Oliver.
Good morning. The Builders of Optimist Club started almost immediately after the first international convention. Over the next 98 years, Optimists have taken the message of service to youth to thousands of communities. The organization has grown because of these efforts, but more importantly, hundreds of thousands of young people have been impacted in a positive way. Every year at convention, we highlight those Optimist clubs that have done the most active building of new Optimist clubs. When a club reaches a significant milestone, the new club's sponsors are presented with the Golden Builder Award. This year, there are 4 clubs that have been sponsored, the Golden 10 Award recognition. 10 new clubs in the current year have been awarded since 1950. President Kongresic, would you please join us as we welcome these Golden 10 builders?
Receiving the Golden 10 banner patch is the Optimist Club of Paso Robles, California. Accepting the award is Governor Dana Lamont. Also receiving the Golden Tent banner patch is the Optimist Club of Colonial Heights, Incorporated, Virginia. Accepting the award for the club is club member Thomas Shearer. Another deserving club receiving the Golden Tent banner patch is the Optimist Club of Charlotte, Mallard Creek, North Carolina. Accepting the award is club president Stuart Mallard. And our 4th recipient of the prestigious Golden 10 Banner Patch Award is the Optimist Club of Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. Accepting the award is club member Linda Rumble.
In addition to honoring clubs that have supported new clubs, we also honor those individuals who have been instrumental in building new Optimist clubs. First, we will recognize those who their efforts qualify them for the Builder of Excellence Award, as we know it as BOE. Every sponsored club can designate an individual from their club to receive this honor. Today, we present the Builders of Excellence Medallion to the Optimists who are present and have earned the award since July 1st, 2016 to June 30th, 2017. As we honor those who are present, the names of the Builders of Excellence during this period will be shown on the screen. Those who have been named as Builders of Excellence in the past will receive their medallion with a special star that indicates their efforts of growing the club. Joining us on stage today will be President Kongresic on stage. Builder of Excellence Awards will be past International President Dave Bruns, and 2017-2018 President Nick Perlman. Let's meet our Builders of Excellence. Thank you.
Kathleen Monchek of the Atlantic Central District. Myron Reome of Ohio. Debbie Krall, the Oklahoma District. Curtis Houston out of Nebraska. Burl Lance out of Nebraska. David Puddles, North Florida. Sherry Puddles, North Florida. Liz Jackson out of North Florida. Renee Oratia, New Mexico, West Texas. Terry Gorman, Dakotas, Manitoba, Minnesota. Dave Martin, Dakotas, Manitoba, Minnesota. Governor Minetta Foster, the Michigan District. Daniel Mallard, North Carolina West. Susie Hinton, South Carolina District. Pauline Langelier, Southern Quebec. Patrick Prendergast, Caribbean. Michael Chavez, Colorado, Wyoming. Craig Baldwin, Colorado, Wyoming. Gwen Gable, Gateway District. Russ Thomas, Gateway District. Dwight Pollard, East Missouri District. Maloney Hanson, Caribbean District. Blondette Wright, Caribbean District. Cheryl Parker, East Missouri. Mac Rumble, Central Ontario. Dave Wilson, Caribbean District. Elaine Carey, Caribbean District. Kamika Campbell Green, Caribbean District. Venus Sanford, New Mexico, West Texas. Don Krall, Oklahoma District. Pat Thomas, Oklahoma District. Mark Clausen, Nebraska District. Al Penner, Nebraska. Corinne Wastel, Nebraska. Essie Johnson, Gateway District. Marlene Phillips, Southwestern Ontario. Lois Philbrick, North Florida. Teresa Jarrett, Michigan. Charlie King, Michigan. Lou Moss, out of Michigan. Diana Morrison, Caribbean District. Ceci Ann Medina, New Mexico, West Texas. Tracy Huxley, Southwestern Ontario. Sandy Larrabee, Southwestern Ontario. Philip Parrington, Colorado, Wyoming. Ronnie Briones, Gateway District. John Grover, South Carolina District with wife Marlene. Sonia Anderson, Caribbean District. Louise Vesna, Quebec. Carol Hodges, South Texas. Jim Oliver, Pacific Southwest.
Nick needs a medallion.
Two clubs, right? Now recognizing optimists who have built 2 clubs since the last convention. Fatima Plater, Michigan. Herb Strather, Michigan. Marino Garbin, South Carolina. Jenny Ricker, South Carolina. Lavera Seymour, Atlantic Central District. Marvin Wastel, Nebraska. Edie Harris, Alberta, Montana, Saskatchewan, and northern Wyoming. Glenda Gale Headley, Capital, Virginia. Lawson Headley, Capital, Virginia. Diana Mallard, North Carolina West. Stuart Mallard, North Carolina West. Those are the 2016-17 Builders of Excellence.
For over And now please welcome the chair of the International Leadership Development Committee, Jan Ord-Graves from San Antonio, Texas.
For over 21 years, the Personal Growth and Involvement Program has allowed individual optimists to achieve personal benefits while helping them in their optimist work as well. There are 10 levels of achievement in the program. Achieving level 10 status is a true indicator of an optimist's dedication to that tenet of the Optimist Creed that directs us to give so much time to the improvement of yourself that you have no time to criticize others. I would ask President Kondrasek to join us on stage to greet the newest PGI Level 10 achievers.
From Arizona, Michael Toper. From Maryland, South Delaware, William Stone and Dale Hoffert. From Ohio, Mayan Rion. From Southwest Ontario, Jurgen Walther. From the Caribbean District, Diana Morrison. From Gateway, Albert Still, Gwen Gable, Russ Thomas, and Nick Trilliman. From Nebraska, Corinne Wastel and Marvin Wastel. Let's give a round of applause to the latest recipients of a Level 10 PGI.
One of the organization's newer programs is the Optimist Leadership Academy. It's a program designated to identify and nurture future leaders of the organization. The Academy Conference, now in its 4th year, lasts a full day, and the session centers on the primary traits and skills needed to become a future leader of the Optimist organization. The Optimist Leadership Academy for this year will be held on Sunday following this convention. At this time, it is my privilege to have you meet those optimists who have been chosen to participate. President Kondrasek, will you please join us?
From the Alberta, Montana, Saskatchewan, and Northern Wyoming District, Brent Card. From the Pacific Northwest District, Ben DeRemer. From the Nebraska District, Burr Lance and Curtis Houston. Connie Wastel and Sandra Allen. From the Gateway District, Connie Webb. From the Caribbean District, Carlene Hunter, Calvin Hunter, and Janet Lawrence. From the West Missouri District, Dee Friel. From the South Texas District, Dianera Rios. From the Colorado-Wyoming District, Larry Brown. From the North Carolina District, Linda Shepard. From the Iowa District, Marguerite Feziki. From the Quebec South District, Pauline Lagelier. And from the Iowa District, Erin Guineri. Let's give them another round of applause. And now please welcome the chair of the International Activities Committee, Don Brose from Clarkston, Michigan.
Good morning. You know, one of the most exciting things that has happened this Optimist year has been the expansion of our oldest and most successful youth programs, the Optimist Oratorical Contest. You know, I had the privilege of, about 5 weeks ago, doing a Kids Speak Out program for fifth graders. And as I was watching them step forward to speak for the very first time in public, I thought to myself, what could happen to them in the next 4 or 5 years as they reach the top of their level as they move forward. So it was quite a touching experience. So those of you that are doing your oratorical contest, the Kids Speak Out, think of what can happen. It could be great. Just 3 weeks back, we had the second Optimist Oratorical World Championship at St. Louis University. Every Optimist district had the opportunity to send one of their district oratorical winners to St. Louis to compete with other district winners in their region for a $5,000 scholarship, in addition to the $2,500 scholarship that they had already won. The next day, the winner of each region, including the winner of the global region with contestants from Haiti, Afghanistan, India, and Belize, and Myanmar, competed for the World Championship, with the third place winner receiving an additional $5,000 scholarship, the second place winner receiving an additional $10,000 scholarship, and the first place winner receiving an additional $15,000 scholarship, and the title of Optimist International World Championship. It was my privilege to be in St. Louis for the World Championships, and I can tell you that we as an organization should be truly proud of what we have been able to do for these young people. Here's a short video that gives you a better feel for this exciting expansion of our oldest scholarship program.
I feel incredible. I can't believe this happened, and I'm just so honored to have won the contest and really just to have been part of the Optimist International Oratorical Contest.
You know, undertaking such an ambitious program would not have been possible without the cooperation of Optimist International, the Optimist International Foundation, Optimist districts, local Optimist clubs, St. Louis University, and many others. In particular, we should recognize the efforts of a special group of people who worked extremely hard to turn this dream into a reality. From our professional staff in St. Louis, please give a round of applause to Programs Director Dana Thomas, Also, our Chief Financial Officer, Teresa Olivagoner. I have my little cheat sheet right here. And the Executive Director of the U.S. Foundation, Craig Boring. Moreover, we should give special recognition to the Chair of the Steering Committee, Karen Monville. And last but not least, we should thank the Chair of the World Championship Oratorical Contest, Dr. Diana Carlin Perrion. Most importantly, thanks to all of you that put on your oratorical contest, that bring those kids forward to do a tremendous job. And in the club, zone, district, and international levels for making this dream a true reality. You guys are the heroes of this contest. And now it gives me great pride to announce the first place winner of the second annual Optimist International Official World Championships was Mina Venkataramanan. And we'll be showing her speech right now. Thank you.
What the world gains from optimism. Prominent motivational speaker Zig Ziglar once said, "Your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude." But what exactly do these words mean? This quote represents the truism that it is ultimately a person's outlook, not his or her intelligence, that will determine how high he or she can reach. Throughout history, few geniuses have truly ever walked the earth, yet millions of people have left an impact. According to the Huffington Post, successful people including Abraham Lincoln, Muhammad Ali, and even best-selling artist of the 2000s, Britney Spears, would not have been considered to have high IQs by modern evaluations. Yet, their success was dependent upon their attitude, specifically their optimism in conquering personal and professional challenges to which most people would have surrendered. So today, we're going to be talking about what exactly the world gains from optimism. So first, let's analyze the science behind optimism, then let's talk about the impact it leaves upon the world, and finally, let's address the most optimal way that we as a global society can become more positive. At first glance, the concept of optimism might seem silly. After all, when we think of optimists, we often think of people who are irritatingly perky and naively happy all the time. But the truth is, there is a difference between blind optimism and realistic optimism. While blind optimists refuse to acknowledge negativity at all, and instead prefer to pretend that everything is okay, realistic optimists acknowledge the negative consequences of their actions. But instead of letting this negativity shroud their motivation to do better, they allow these consequences to serve as opportunities to improve. For instance, a friend of mine was recently struggling in her math class. We were nearing the end of the year and she was on the verge of failing the class. Now, she told me that there was no point in trying because she wasn't naturally good at math and thus would never be able to improve. As a realistic optimist, I told her that while she might not possess the natural aptitude for math, she always has the ability to improve if she changes her attitude toward the subject and puts in the work. Reluctantly, she took my advice and was pleasantly surprised when she passed her math class because she finally started to treat her past mistakes as lessons instead of barriers. Now imagine if the world did the same. Every day, the global news tells us of death and destruction, scandals and corruption. If it bleeds, it leads has become the unofficial motto of several news organizations seeking to capitalize upon revealing the worst of humanity. But seldom do we ever hear about global milestones and achievements. For example, did you know that according to the World Health Organization, measles has finally been eradicated in the Americas as of last year? I didn't. But I'm not asking that we solely focus on the good and ignore the bad completely. Rather, I'm asking that we change the way we address the bad. One way we can do this is through constructive journalism, a concept that has been implemented in several countries across the world, including Denmark, which boasts one of the world's highest Human Development Index ratings, according to the UN. Instead of simply reporting global tragedies, constructive journalists can offer potential solutions to these tragedies, or at least pose constructive questions moving forward. In this way, the concept of realistic optimism can be applied to news reporting and consequently trickle into the minds of readers all around the world, promoting a more positive global society. Thus, optimism is an attainable goal from which the world can truly benefit, whether it's through constructive journalism or through simply treating individual mistakes as lessons to learn from. The earth and its people have so much to gain from being positive, because after all, as Zig Ziglar once said, your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. Thank you.
Would Stephanie Davis and Ceci Medina please come backstage? And now, please welcome the chair of the steering committee, Karen Monville from Bay City, Michigan.
Good morning, Optimist. It has been an extreme honor to have had the opportunity to chair the steering committee to raise funds to support the Optimist International Oratorical World Championship Contest for last year and this year. The World Oratorical Championship is a wonderful opportunity for students to earn up to $22,500 in scholarships. Awarding these scholarships presents the challenge of raising the funds to support them. The goal of our steering committee is to raise funds and generate sponsorships outside of our Optimist family. We are not seeking donations from our members and/or clubs, since we do not want to jeopardize the donations that members and clubs make to the Optimist International Foundation and/or the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. These funds are still needed to support all of the many Optimist programs that are offered to youth. Instead, we are looking for business and corporate sponsorships and donations from non-Optimists. If you know of a business or corporation that we could send information to about the sponsorship opportunities that are available, please contact Dana Thomas in the Optimist International office. We are also encouraging the use of social media to spread the word to friends and family members about donating to this very worthy cause. Of course, if an Optimist member or a club did feel the need or would like to make a donation above and beyond their typical donations to the foundation, we certainly would not say no to those funds. Earlier this week, on Tuesday evening, we held a gala celebration to celebrate the 4th of July and to raise funds for the scholarships. It was a wonderful event held on the rooftop of the Sunrise Bank building in Albuquerque with a silent auction and a live auction, and ending with fabulous fireworks. And from that event, I'm proud to say that we probably took in about $15,000. We had $5,000 from our auction items, so thank you. A very special thank you to all who attended and for your generosity. Prior to coming to convention, we have raised just about $28,000. I would like to say a huge thank you to the members of our steering committee that have worked so hard to spread the word about our oratorical championships. Would the members of our committee please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I also want to extend a huge thank you to the Optimist International Foundation for their generosity and funding of the regional scholarships. The Optimist International Foundation will fund the regional scholarships for the United States and Caribbean winners, as well as the winner from the international pool. Our fundraising efforts are not over, even though the contest for this year was held on June 15th and 16th. We will continue raising funds for this year through September 30th. Fundraising will also continue for the next Optimist year, since the Oratorical World Championships is an annual event. Thank you for your support, and please feel free to contact either Dana Thomas or me if you have any questions or suggestions. Thank you.
And now, please welcome International Marketing and Communications Committee member Diane Sefkas from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Once again, Optimist clubs in the youth and youth clubs had the opportunity to compete in the Real Optimism video contest. The contest was also open for public submissions this year. There were 5 categories: Optimist in Action Adult, Optimist in Action Youth, Make Optimism Go Viral Adult, Make Optimism Go Viral Youth, and the category Optimism open to the public at large. Videos for all 5 categories were to visually illustrate the topic of optimism. We received many, many fine submissions, and they were posted on our website for anyone to vote on. To give you an idea of the size, scope, and impact of this contest, the Real Optimism videos received more than 6,000 views and nearly 14,000 votes were cast. Now, the votes have been tabulated, and I would like to share the winning videos with you. Before I do, I'd like to acknowledge the generous support of the Optimist International Foundation and the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation for providing the grants to the winners. Thank you very much. And now, the winner of the Optimist in Action Adult category, receiving a $750 club grant, is the Harborview Optimist Club of Jamaica.
This journey began when Cancer Chair Angela sought and found a young cancer patient who was in need. We, the members of the Optimist Club of Harborview, yielded to the mission of bringing out the best in our children. Chairperson Angie was directed to Mark Darby, an 8-year-old who is living with the pains of cancer. We, the members of the Optimist Club of Harborview, decided to assist this needy child by assisting his dad with the old saying, teach a man to fish. Hence, Mark's story, everyone's glory.
See me admit for around about 2 months. And couldn't get to go to school after that.
I'm a child of love.
Can you make a positive difference?
Yes, I can.
Can you make a positive difference?
Yes, I can.
Can you be nice?
Yes, I can.
Can you be gentle? Respect your fellow man? Can you make a positive difference? Can you love your brothers? Can you love your sisters? Can you love your teachers? Can you love God? Can you love the devil?
You know what I mean by negative? What I mean by negative? But very good, very, very good. Clap it. That's a bad way. Negative way is a bad way. You can use energy in positive ways or negative ways. You can use your strength to help someone, or you can use your strength to hurt someone. Did you know that? Yes. And you know, we do know that a lot of boys, most boys are stronger than girls. There are some girls that are stronger than boys. But the idea is you should not use your strength to hurt anyone because...
Talk about the other person, yes? We want to talk about ourselves now. I can get it if I really want it. I can get it if I really want it. And if I can get friendship.
Please welcome representatives of the Harborview Optimist Club. As they make their way to the stage, I would invite you to get out your smartphones or tablets and open the Facebook app. How many of you have liked the Facebook page's cover photo? If you've not already liked it, please, you can search for it with Optimist International, and then this video has been posted to our Facebook page. I need you to like, share, and comment on the Honor Club Optimist Club video. You're all doing that, right? All right, I can't see you very good. So, while I've got this just brief moment, in your packet, registration packet, there was a little piece of paper that looks something like this. It has got all of our social media account addresses. We're on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please take a few minutes and go and like, comment, and share. Let's make optimism go viral. And now, the winner of the Optimist in Action Youth category and a $750 club grant is Bixby High School Junior Optimist Club of Oklahoma.
All is well, you passed out of our...
But oftentimes, you know, young people come to us when they're still living on the streets and they don't have anything but the backpack full of clothes and, you know, maybe a few essential items. People haven't had the opportunity to go to the mall and pick out clothes on their own. Everything they get is handed to them from somebody else, or often been worn several times before and maybe isn't in a style that they would prefer. So we had a young lady that was actually camping over by the railroad tracks, and it was the middle of winter. There was probably 3 to 4 inches of snow on the ground, and all she had was the clothes on her back. And she showed up for a holiday party here at YST, and despite having never been here before, everybody that came to that YST Christmas party got a present. And she opened up her bag, and inside was a brand new coat. And she had the most amazing look on her face, and literally like just tears running down her cheeks, because she knew like she had a way to stay warm when she left our facility.
I think of the words that are, I have the words in my head.
It's just like the right thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah, we want them to give because it's the right thing to do.
The Tulsa community has over 1,200 homeless youth right here in Tulsa. And that really blew my mind, because I grew up in small town Oklahoma with a graduating class of 100 students. And the first thought that went through my mind was, oh my goodness, there are 12 of my graduating classes of young people just out there living on the streets, homeless, hungry, cold, facing the elements.
A lot of the young people that I work with, they get accepted into our program and they're homeless and they have very little.
Are they worth it?
Are they worth it?
Are they worth it?
Are they worth it? Are they worth your time?
Join us November 1st through the 11th in gathering coats to keep the Tulsa County warm.
Thank you all for this nice warm coat. Well, I'm blessed, you know, about you all.
Please welcome representatives of the Bixby High School Junior Optimist Club. The Make Optimism Go Viral Adult category winner will receive a $750 club grant. And I am very pleased to announce that the Galveston Noon Optimist Club in Texas submitted this year's winner.
I still hear your sea winds blowing. I still see her dark eyes glowing. She was 21 when I left Galveston. Galveston, oh Galveston.
Please welcome a representative of the Galveston Noon Optimist Club. The winner of the Make Optimism Go Viral Youth category will also receive a $750 club grant, and the winner is the M4 Junior Optimist Club of Arizona.
The M4 Joy Club of Yuma will do almost anything to show their real optimism, including riding on the scariest ride we could find in Yuma. Any optimist knows to hold on tight.
Representatives of the M4 Junior Optimist Club were unable to join us today. And now, the winner of the Public Optimism Showcase and a $500 grant is Sabrina Rualdes. Sabrina is donating her winning grant to Work, Play, Love, an organization dedicated to bettering the lives of children.
fly.
Congratulations to all of you, and thanks for participating in this year's contest. I want to see you all next year on the big screen. Thank you.
As you know, one of the primary areas of focus is childhood health and wellness. Of course, our program in this area is our fight against childhood cancer. In particular, the Optimist International Childhood Cancer Campaign continues to be one of our most popular programs. For many years, Optimist clubs and individual members have contributed to Childhood Cancer Campaign in order to bring hope to children diagnosed with cancer and their parents. One of the most exciting aspects of the program has been our ability to fund a research fellowship at Johns Hopkins to help find a cure for childhood cancer. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Stephanie Davis, Senior Associate Director of Development for the Johns Hopkins Pediatric Oncology, who is here today to give us an update on their work. Welcome, Stephanie.
Good morning. On behalf of the childhood cancer patients we will serve in the months ahead, I want to express my sincere appreciation to Optimist International and to all of you sitting here this morning for partnering with us to find cures. We all know how critical the problem is. Pediatric cancer is still the leading cause of death by disease in children. And in spite of these alarming statistics, only a fraction, less than 4% of government funding goes to help these kids with cancer. But together, we can offer these children hope and optimism. We are in reach of a cure. The Optimist Fellows have been the impetus to the pipeline of promise that we see in pediatric cancer treatment today. Your fellowship awards serve as a catalyst in advancing the work of young, enthusiastic investigators with fresh ideas that will form the foundation for future clinical trials. There can be no crueler form of cancer than that which strikes a child. Carefree days that should be spent on the playground are instead spent in the hospital. For them, our pediatric oncologists work their hardest because they know when they cure a child, they not only save a life, but a dream, a future of dream possibilities and accomplishments. It is an honor to be engaged in this work with Optimist International, and we remain indebted to you, as do all of our patients and families. Thank you. This afternoon, wait, one more second. If you have time this afternoon, we are giving a workshop from 2 to 3 that we will show a video and tell you a little bit more about the exciting programs that we are offering at Johns Hopkins. And one of them is that we used to only work with youth up to the age of 19, but we're now working with patients that are up to the age of 25, and we're finding that those adolescents and young adults treated in a pediatric setting are doing much better in treatment. So that will be the focus of the workshop this afternoon. Thank you. And I also hope each of you saw this in your programs when you came in. It gives a history of the relationship between Johns Hopkins and Optimist International. So thank you all.
Optimist International, our local clubs, and the children we serve are so very blessed to serve benefit greatly from contributions to our two foundations. Over the years, our foundations have helped support many of our programs by providing millions of dollars in scholarships and grants. It's important to remember that the leaders of our foundations are first and foremost optimists who give of their time, talent, and treasure to make sure that we can continue to serve children. They deserve our support and thanks. Together we can. At this time, it's my honor to introduce the president of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation, Nina Strickland.
Feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night, that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Good morning, President Jim and fellow optimists. Bon matin à tous, chers optimists. It has been a very exciting year for the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation, and especially it has been a great honor and privilege for me to serve as the first female president, and during the year that we celebrate 30 years of women as optimists. We have transitioned a long way during the past 30 years because of the great presidents that we have had leading our foundation. They have faced many challenges, accepted change, and accomplished much for the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. I am proud to say that we have made significant changes this year that will benefit the youth and optimist clubs in Canada. Over the years, we have had dedicated optimists working for the youth in our communities, and the foundation has played a large part in their successes and will continue to do so. Some of the CCOF achievements over the past year have been: we are currently on target to reaching our goal of $250,000 in unrestricted funds. Thank you for all your support. The CCOF Foundation is proud to support our youth in achieving communication skills that will be a great asset in helping them accomplish future goals. We also support the essay, the oratorical, and communication contests for the deaf and hard of hearing. Last year alone, a total of $95,400 was dispersed in scholarships to young Canadians. We continue to support Optimist International programs, along with Junior Optimist International. The foundation is dedicated to supporting Optimist International and its leadership development at all levels. We provide many opportunities for individual clubs, members to attend district, regional conferences, and the conventions as a means of enhancing our volunteers' ability through training and exchanging ideas on how to improve our programs. The CCOF remains a true supporter of the clubs and the communities that we serve. Our major disbursements are to the outsourcing projects that we endorse and help develop. This program enables clubs to do major fundraising efforts to support Optimist projects in their community, amounting to over $105,000 for the past year. As an example, on June the 23rd, the grand opening of the Trois Pistoles gazebo took place as a project of the Optimist Club of Trois Pistoles in partnership with the Canadian Children's Foundation through its outsourcing program. CCOF President-elect Raymond Michard had the opportunity and the honor of cutting the ribbon. This project is meant to improve the church park with a permanent structure. This gazebo will permit the organization of outdoor activities for youth and all the community. The project aims to develop a sense of belonging, involvement, and responsibility in youth towards their community. The club needed to raise $28,000, and the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation was proud to be a part of that project by providing charitable tax receipts and our resources. We continue with our club grant program, which is an opportunity to recognize new clubs with a grant of $500. And we congratulate the Kids Mental Health Optimist Club of Canada for their Optimist Kids music performance film, which helps create a community of support to kids through music. And we also congratulate the Optimist Club of St. Ignace for their Optimist Garden. This beautiful project's aim is to introduce youth to gardening. The Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation is proud. Back up. The Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation Board is broadening the Childhood Cancer Campaign program to assist more children and their families in dealing with more diverse health issues. As always, growing members of clubs are asking for a way to help kids with a broad range of health issues. The autism spectrum is subject to increasing media scrutiny. Physical disabilities generate high treatment costs for a family. Every community has special needs, and asking the optimists for help is often the first thing that comes to mind when need of support. Unfortunately, we were not able to support those clubs in helping those children with mental health problems, cystic fibrosis, heart disease, for examples, as we would have much liked to have done. So our new spread relief program will enable clubs to initiate fundraising activities to help children and their families in our communities to deal with childhood illnesses. It includes, but is not limited to, physical and mental illnesses, diabetes, kidney disease, heart disease, childhood cancer, cystic fibrosis, psychological disorders, ADHD, autism, and learning disabilities. We are very excited that starting on October the 1st, 2017, the Spread Relief Program will give seed money to projects selected through a committee. Make sure to follow the Facebook page and visit our website to have more information on how your club can spread relief in your community. I am taking this opportunity to deviate from traditional Canadian Children's Optimist report to speak on a personal basis. We all know that optimism is about serving youth in our communities, bringing out the best in them. It has been a part of my family for over 40 years and helped bring out the best in my family. It has helped me increase my motivation, my leadership abilities, although some may have a different opinion. It has given me opportunities to experience, grow, become more confident in my abilities, and to stand in front of you today as the president of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation, and most of all, to work with the youth. A good leader will always find a way to overcome challenges and press on to greater achievements for the future. That I have been able to accomplish in both my volunteer and personal life. You see, it takes more than one lonely member to provide the programs that our Optimist Clubs provide for you and your families. I am just a member with a number that makes a difference. Yes, we have 3 generations of optimists working with youth on the international level. I am very proud of all of our accomplishments, and we all continue to gain confidence, gain friendships, and leadership skills as we work with the youth in our communities. My husband, Fred, has been the seed of our accomplishments and supported us as we grew. Our daughter, Denise, is running for governor of Central Ontario District and is an international committee member. Our grandson, Matthew, has just been elected as president of Joy. His brother, Andrew, is a current lieutenant governor of Central Ontario Joy District. You see, we do have a lot to be thankful for within the Optimist organization. Now, on with my report. The board continues to work hard to improve our services. I'd like to personally thank them and our administrator, Director Nadesh Fortier, Interim Executive Director Jacques Plon, for all their hard work over the past year and for their support as we launch our new spread relief program. I would like to thank the board of the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation for their support. Past President Yves Berthiaume, President-elect Raymond Michard, Director Vince Parker, Director Rod McKendrick. Past President Yves could not be with us today, but under his leadership, the CCOF reached 6.9% donors while he was president, almost doubling the preceding year number of donors. And he himself has reached the $25,000 donation level this year, making him a silver benefactor. This shows how a leader can lead by example. I ask you to please support your foundations. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. At this time, I would like to introduce my counterpart, Optimist International President Don Krall.
It is an honor to serve as Optimist International President for this current year. Our goal this year is to be good stewards of your money and identify ways that best serve Optimist clubs and Optimist International. Our mission is to identify, manage, and administer funds to benefit clubs and youth activities of our organization. The approach to accomplishing this is simply teach by example. Our board members, foundation reps, and district governors were asked to lead by example, making a personal contribution to the foundation. As leaders, we cannot expect others to support our organization unless we show our commitment. We are not here to beg, belittle, or strong-arm members into giving. In my years of fundraising, it's helped me understand that members give from their heart. We support the causes that mean the most to us. We hope each of you do the same. Please support the causes you believe in. And if the Optimist International Foundation and the activities of Optimist International fall into that category, please consider supporting us. Remember, the foundation exists exclusively for the work of your clubs and Optimist International. I'm privileged to serve with 4 board members. I want to thank Sandy Williams, Melvin Bannister, Bill Myers, and Don Sievers for their dedication to standing and leading in the foundation and bringing us to new levels of success. I would also like to recognize and congratulate Janet Ord Graves for her election to the board beginning in October 1st. She will be a great addition to our leadership team. The strength of our success originates from committed volunteers and donors like you. Please allow me to take a moment and thank those key groups that are instrumental in the foundation being the best that it can be. Each year, the governors elect a district foundation rep and to coordinate efforts on the foundation's behalf. These volunteers work very hard to help us achieve our goals in educating our membership about the foundation. They also seek and appoint CFRs, Club Foundation Reps, as well as fundraising. Would you please, those of you who are current DFRs, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. We just completed our DFR training for next year's incoming DFRs. I would like to recognize them as well, so would the 2017-2018 DFRs please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your willingness to serve. The Women's Philanthropy Council was formed to recognize the unique role that women play in charitable giving. The Women's Philanthropy Council raises money to help underwrite club grants and sponsors a Girl Scholarship in the oratorical contest. I would like to recognize and thank the committee members who helped make all of this possible. Would the WPC committee members please stand and be recognized? Another committee that assists us greatly in our club grants is our Club Grant Committee, and we'll be talking about them more later in the presentation. Finally, I want to recognize members of the William H. Harrison Society. These donors have made lifetime gifts totaling at least $10,000 and continue to contribute a minimum of $1,000 per year. Will the members of the William H. Harrison Society please stand? Thank you for your generosity. You certainly are leaders by example, and you exemplify the motto, Optimists helping Optimists help kids. We envision a foundation that can provide significant funding for Optimist International's youth and services programs and is proudly supported by individual optimists, their clubs, and the community at large. Adhering to our vision in partnership with Optimist International, I want to highlight a few significant accomplishments that we have had since Quebec. The foundation has seen an increase of unrestricted giving of 23% as of this time. Through your support and giving, the foundation paid $295,000 in scholarships, allowing young people in our communities a chance to fulfill their dream and continue their education. Support of the Childhood Cancer Campaign has been, for John Hopkins, has reached nearly $41,000 this year. We've also assisted clubs clubs donating over $68,000 in charitable contributions for their childhood cancer centers in their communities, organizations, and hospitals. Clubs utilizing the pass-through program has raised $247,000 for their charitable efforts in their local communities. Our dollar per member this year has increased 17%. We're now sitting at $6.37 per member to date. I would like past President Ed Finn to please join me here on stage. Ed retired from the board last year following 4 years of service. Ed, the board and I would like to thank you for your service to Optimist International Foundation and present you with this proclamation as a token of our gratitude for years of service.
Thank you, Don, and I want to thank the foundation, and mostly I want to thank each and every one of you optimists that continue to support the foundation. Thank you.
Ed, you truly made a huge difference in the lives of many through your leadership, compassion, and vision. We now shift our focus from the past accomplishments to present activities. A significant program for the foundation every year is the Club Grant Awards. Please help me welcome board member and Club Grant Committee liaison Bill Myers to award the club grants for 2016-2017.
Thank you, President Don. Each year, Optimist clubs are asked to submit new club fundraising projects for consideration of a $500 matching grant. The guidelines are to describe the project, create a budget, include securing matching funds, and a plan for the long-term sustainability of the project. This year, the committee received 105 grant proposals for consideration. Thank you, Optimist clubs. The committee had a difficult time narrowing down the proposals to 20 grant winners. In fact, we had such a great response, the foundation expanded the awards to 22 grant winners this year. As you will see, 2 of the grant winners were truly international in scope, coming from clubs in Uganda and Ghana, respectively. We want to thank all those who submitted applications for their work putting those together. At this time, I would like the hardworking members of the Club Grant Committee to stand as their name is called.
From the West Missouri District, Bob Floyd. From the Michigan District, Linda Ingersoll. From the Kansas District, Ruth Nelson. And from the Arizona District, Bill Lundquist.
Thank you all for your service this year as you reviewed each application and narrowed the field to 22. But now we would like to recognize the winning grant entries for the 2016-17 year. So would the representative from each club stand as their club is called and remain standing till all clubs have been named.
Face It, Fight Abuse and Child Exploitation, Sawney Optimist Club of Cumming, Georgia. Blankets for Kids, Playa Vista Optimist Club, California. Child's ID Program, Optimist Club of North Platte, Nebraska. Bike Rodeo, Hill Country Optimist Club of Texas. Optimist Robotics is Elementary Program, Sacramento Breakfast Optimist Club of California. Storybridge Amarillo, Southwest Amarillo Optimist Club, Texas. Kids Night Out, Ozark Optimist Club, Missouri. Denham and Diamond Special Needs Prom, East Fort Bend County, Texas. Getting Totally Eclipsed in Saline County, Optimist Club of Marshall, Missouri. Embracing Hope and Building Great, San Antonio Valley High Optimist Club, Texas. Audio Bibles for Blind People, Echo Hills Optimist Club of Accra, Ghana. Gould's Rams Community Garden, Greater Gould's Optimist Club, Florida. Middleton Optimist Cops and Bobbers, Middleton Optimist Club, Wisconsin. The Tassel is Worth the Hassle, Evening Optimist Club of St. Joseph, Missouri. Demonstrating on Tough Situations, Optimist Club of New Ulm, Minnesota. Picnic with a Purpose, the Optimist Club of Yuma, Arizona. Mitzi's Girl Scouts, Oceanside Optimist Club, California. Bristlebots, Tuskegee Optimist Club, Alabama. Move It, Optimist Club of Minnesota Valley, Minnesota. Special Needs Hoedown, the Bluegrass Optimist Club of Kentucky. New Shoes, Happy Beginnings, House of Hope, Free Home, Cherokee County, Georgia, the Laurel Canyon Optimist Club of Georgia. The Keep Girls in School Challenge, Camp Optimist Club of Uganda. Congratulations to all of our club grant recipients.
Have a nice round of applause for all of them all. These clubs are truly champions in their community, helping kids toward a better tomorrow. We encourage all the clubs to visit the website and learn more about the club grant program and submit an application for next year for a new project. Reach deeper into your communities to help them grow. At this time, I would like to introduce Optimist International Foundation Executive Director Craig Boring.
President Don, with the assistance from Bill Myers, have laid out a great overview of the Foundation's efforts in the past year and the current efforts that assist all of Optimist International in growing the footprint of the mission. So as you've heard, the Foundation has a proud and successful past and a remarkable present. Now we are set for an exciting future. We are proud to share some new initiatives that will strengthen the partnership between Optimist and our Foundation. Among those, Childhood Cancer Campaign will have a relaunch of a matching grant effort. Beginning this fall, up to $40,000 in matching grants will be made available to clubs for childhood cancer projects in their respective communities. New to this effort will be an inclusion of prevention efforts in a program that will be aimed at prevention of cancer that afflict children so they don't hear those awful words, "You have cancer." Optimist International has begun to underwrite the World Oratorical Championship regional winners for U.S.-based winners, plus the international winner that is based outside of North America. In collaboration with our Junior Optimist program, we are launching a new club bonus, $100 to any Joy Club built with 25 charter members, helping the kids. This donation will be for their use in their first community service project, getting them involved. The Foundation is also launching a new communications effort. This effort will be focused on telling the story of the Foundation better, to assist members with volunteer programs and services to share the great work going on by Optimists throughout the world. Included in this effort will be a new website that is more user-friendly, social media relaunch that shares all the great work done by the Foundation in a quick, informative manner. And we're going to be reviewing all other opportunities to tell the OIF story, your story, to all OI members through new endeavors in this ever-changing high-tech world. All these new endeavors are being finalized and will be rolling out to the districts and the clubs in the coming weeks and months prior to the new Optimist year beginning October 1st. So look for more information on each of these on the Foundation website, special email blasts, the monthly hotline, and other avenues. As we move forward, you will see new initiatives joining those previously outlined. But rest assured, we're not abandoning many of our signature efforts. Dime a Day has been the backbone of our funding efforts for many years. We will continue to utilize it as an avenue for every member to get involved in the Foundation efforts. We'll be looking for new ways to grow this program from an average of 2,800 members per year Just think. If we could get to 10,000 members by the centennial, that would mean an additional $255,000 in unrestricted funds to support youth in your communities. The Christian D. Larson Partners has grown to a remarkable 646 members as of July 1st. We will continue to utilize this program in an endeavor to raise funds and honor great optimists. Wouldn't it be a great goal to reach 1,000 before the Centennial Convention in Louisville, Kentucky? To honor 1,000 at that number 1,000 at that convention would be awesome. The President's Club is another bellwether program that has a significant part of how we have been able to fund many great Optimist International programs. Taking that from approximately 330 members, let's just do it to 1,000, would allow more kids to be served, and that's what we're in business for. So much like the movie Back to the Future, we will rely on a strong and proud past, coupled with a great today, and look to the future with innovation and excitement, so more kids will have a better and brighter tomorrow. Thank you. This is always a special time of our gathering, and now I'd like to ask Optimist International Foundation President Don Krall to join me on stage, along with Canadian Children's Foundation President Nina Strickland, as we invite those who have checks or donations to present to bring them forward at the center stage at this time. So please come and share the love. And I will try to read a few of these. This brings total 64,000 over 10 years. Thank you, O'Hare. Thank you, Bill.
Here is the chair of that committee, Karen Monville from Bay City, Michigan.
Good morning again, Mr. President Kadranzik and fellow Optimists. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. Before I give the report of the Credentials Committee, I would like to acknowledge our members. They are Sylvan and Sylvie Courtier from Hammond, Ontario, Susan Krantz from Iron River, Wisconsin, Romy Wagner from Wausau, Wisconsin, and Dana Monville from Bay City, Michigan. On behalf of our committee, I would also like to thank our staff liaison, Michelle Irvin, for her assistance. Each Optimist Club in good standing and represented at this convention is entitled to 1 vote for each 10 members or major fraction thereof, or 6 or more, based on membership enrolled in the International Office as of April 30th, 2017. A club organized after that date is entitled to cast its votes on the basis of its numerical charter membership. The convention rules in Article 4, Section 1 of the International Bylaws establish the procedure for certification of delegates. At this time, there are 352 clubs qualified to cast 1,297 votes, and 415 delegates have been accredited. The names of the Optimist clubs qualified to vote at this convention are listed and made part of this report. The Credentials Committee hereby requests permission to file this report with the presiding officer for the duration of the convention for inspection by a club delegate upon request. Since there may be additional registrations, we request permission to amend this report if necessary. Mr. President, I remove this report of the Credentials Committee be accepted by this body.
Is this on? Okay. It's been moved by the committee to accept this report. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your voting cards and keep them up. You may lower your voting cards. Those opposed, please raise your voting cards and keep them up. You may lower your cards. The motion is carried. Thank you, Karen, for your report. For our next item of business, I would like to call to the chair of the International Governance Committee, Chair Ron Whitaker from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, to the lectern to present his committee's report on the convention rules.
Thank you, Mr. President. The International Governance Committee has 3 responsibilities at this convention: presenting proposed bylaw amendments, presenting proposed convention resolutions, and offering the convention rules for approval. Our duty right now concerns the rules that will govern the business of this convention. Before I begin, I would like to recognize the other members of the committee. From Albuquerque, Ontario, Ronald Fournier; from El Dorado Springs, Missouri, Bob Floyd; and from Bellevue, Nebraska, Steffi Swanson. I would also like to thank our staff liaison, Dana Thomas, for all her work on behalf of this committee. The committee has reviewed the convention rules and our proposals have been published. A copy was also given to each accredited delegate. Mr. President, I move the adoption of the rules as printed.
It has been moved and seconded by the committee to adopt the convention rules as printed. Is there any discussion? If not, those in favor, raise your voting cards and keep them up. Thank you. You may lower them. Those opposed, please raise your voting cards and hold them up. Motion is carried. We have a special item on our agenda today. The Board of Directors, at their third regularly scheduled board meeting held this past Wednesday, has, pursuant to Article 9, Section 2 of the Optimist International Bylaws, proposed an amendment for your consideration. The proposed amendment has not been previously published and therefore will require a unanimous consent of the accredited delegates to be considered at this convention. Governance Committee Ron Whitaker will now state the proposed amendment.
The proposed amendment reads as follows. Bylaws, Article 2, Corporate Status, Section 3, Identification of Officers, new Section A3. A member, volunteer, or individual shall act as an agent of an Optimist Club only upon prior written approval granting such agency by the club's board of directors. A member, volunteer, or individual shall act as an agent of Optimist International only upon prior written approval granting such agency by the Optimist International Board of Directors.
Thank you, Ron. The proposal just presented by Chairman Ron will be available in writing upon recessing this business session. Further action on this matter will require an affirmative, unanimous vote of the accredited delegates. If affirmed, this matter will be moved by the Governance Committee during the normal course of business at tomorrow's second business session. Upon being moved and seconded, customary discussion and debate will be entertained at that time, prior to the final vote of the proposed amendment. If there is no objection, the chair now rules this matter will move forward by unanimous consent. If there is dissent to the unanimous approval to move this matter forward, please raise your voting card now. Seeing no cards raised, the chair notes a vote of dissent on the issue. Therefore, this item will be considered at this convention, will not be considered at this convention, and may be proposed to the delegates at the next convention in Ottawa. Our next item of business is voting on the proposed convention resolutions. Mr. Chairman, you may proceed.
Convention rules limit our discussion to only those resolutions presented by this committee. If you wish to speak during this discussion period, please remember to state your name and club name or number when you come to the microphone. Former Governance Committee member Robert Doyle will translate any comments from French speakers into English for the convenience of all of our delegates. Our parliamentarian, past international president, Bob Garner, is also present. The first resolution is regarding non-gender district oratorical contest submitted by the Board of Directors. Whereas districts currently have the option to hold non-gender oratorical contests and offer 2 or 3 contests totaling $5,000 per district, and whereas districts that hold gender-divided contests have to determine one individual to represent the district at the Optimist International Oratorical World Championships, and whereas the regional and world championships are non-gender contests, and whereas there is no supporting evidence of a gender bias in competing in a contest, and whereas other organizations sponsor oratorical contests are non-gender and have done so for many decades, and whereas Optimist International honors evolving social inclusiveness, and therefore be it resolved that all Optimist International districts hold non-gender oratorical contests beginning October 1st, 2017, and offer a first, second, and third place scholarship totaling $5,000 allocated as the district chooses.
It has been moved and seconded by the committee to adopt the resolution as printed. Is there any discussion? We recognize the first speaker at the con microphone.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ted Gaffin, representing the East Valley Optimist Club of Yuma, Arizona, 31196, and I stand here in opposition to this resolution. Not, and I repeat, not on the issue of whether there should be a single gender or a separate gender contest. That is currently in our rules that allow the districts to choose what they want to do for their districts by their membership. This resolution would mandate what the districts have to do. I do want to remind the members here, if they're not aware of it, that this came before the Board of Directors from the Activities Committee with the recommendation that it be brought to this membership. At the board meeting in March, this current Board of Directors decided they did not need the membership input. They voted and passed their proposal at that time. Only after backlash from the membership did they rescind that vote and re-vote to bring it to this body for our consideration. I do not oppose this because of the scholarship issue. The scholarships that they currently have are going to continue right now at $5,000. However, I do have a concern. I can't read that. Okay. There is a concern, as they did in years past with the CCDHH. There was a $5,000 scholarship. At that time, the Board of Directors unilaterally decided to cut that in half to one scholarship. The districts that did not participate lost nothing. The districts that did participate lost half of their scholarships.
Sorry, Ted, your time is up.
I asked to vote no on this. You can't read those cards.
Chair recognizes the speaker at the pro microphone.
Ronald Fournier, Bourget, Ontario, club number 49902. I urge you to vote for this motion. I've been an Optimist member for 28 years. I'm a retired school teacher. In the school board where I taught, we also had oratorical contests, and both in French and in English. And when I became an Optimist member, I could not believe that we had gender contests. To me, it simply made no sense. It made no sense from an educational point of view. It made no sense from a psychological point of view. And it made no sense from a social point of view. In my district, they hold separate contests, gender contests. And I have been against that from the very beginning. And I've been very vocal about it. The main issue that they brought up over there is that they felt that they want to honor two main winners with grant money. But now you're getting a first, second, and third prize. So to me, that argument does not stand up. The other argument was, well, boys are shyer than girls and girls do better. And I was a former child oratorical art winner. And I find that offensive. So I urge you, as much as I can possibly can, to vote for this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes speaker at the con microphone.
Teresa Null, Academy Optimist Club of Colorado Springs, 25008. I have no problem whether it's genders or whatever. I would just offer a caveat that the judges be of a variety of genders, because I've noticed, for example, when we had our technology oratorical contest, the males in our area tended to be pro, and the females tended to be con because they're more security concerned about security with technology. And so males and females and all the other genders, they do have differences. So I would just like for the judges, if we're going to go to the non-gender district, I would like for the judges to be of a variety of genders. That's all.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the speaker at the pro microphone.
Mr. Chairman, Adrian Elcock, 78068, Optimist Club of Barbados, Bridgetown. For the record, Caribbean District. I'm also a member of the Board of Directors of Optimist International. I think it's important that we look at this from a historical and social perspective. The oratorical contest was started in 1928. At that time, the social and economic landscape across the world was a lot different. It was a time where men and women, boys and girls, were treated unequal. It was a time where education was delivered in unequal and discriminate manners to both men and women. Fast forward to 2017, at a time where I spend a lot of energy with my wife, telling my 11-year-old daughter that she can be anything she wants to be, regardless of her gender. It's a time where technological and educational improvements have shown that our young people are capable and willing. It's a time where we celebrate the 30th anniversary of women in this great movement. So when the board considered this matter with all the things available to it to consider it, we made this determination that this was the best time that to be a progressive organization that we should have a gender-neutral competition. It is a time whereby our young men and our young women get to compete on a level playing field. I'm totally taken aback that persons could be opposed to this for whatever reasons have been articulated. I haven't heard a clear reason as yet. But we cannot, from a corporate perspective, go to major donors to the World Oratorical Competition and get serious consideration when we have a situation where we're discriminating in our own organization. I beg that we support this resolution.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the third speaker at the con microphone.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name's Bob Thompson. I am representing Club 05435, Plainfield, Indiana. I am opposed to this motion on a simple fact. The foundation has not been asked any input on this, and they are the ones that do the funding for these scholarships. I feel that they should have been asked before anything like this was brought before the voting members here at this convention. I very much am opposed to this comment. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the third speaker at the pro microphone.
Sandra Larrabee, Essex Youth Center, 45926. This is the year 2017. We have amazing young people. It should not matter whether they're a boy or a girl. Gender-neutral contests will provide us with the best speakers and the best future for our organization. Please vote for this motion.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the fourth speaker at the con microphone.
Esther Marie Hillman, the Ochoa Optimist Club of South Tucson, club number 31194. I'm not against having a non-gender specific scholarship at all. Actually, I think it's great that we can honor more kids. My problem is that there are named scholarships that have a written contract with the foundations that they will provide the $25,000 scholarship to a single person, and that they will not give scholarships for less than that amount. If you can give us the assurance that the foundation will honor those contracts and will allow them to be changed, even though some of those people those contracts with are deceased, that they are willing to write a $1,000 scholarship and a $1,500 scholarship for some of those named scholarships, I'm more than for it. I've already spoken to one of those named scholarships in Arizona, and I know the person is more than willing to have their scholarship split among 2 people. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the speaker number 4 at the pro microphone.
Hi there, I'm Effie Coughlin from Brooklyn, Ontario in Canada. First timer here, hold on. 47025. I agree with the lady that was speaking before. We're in 2017, and with so many kids that are identifying in the LGBT community, transgender kids should also have the opportunity. So I do not believe that an oratorical contest should be gender specific. It needs to be allowed that all the kids, whomever they may be and however they identify, should be able to compete. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the 5th and final speaker at the con microphone.
Mr. Chairman, Tom Snyder, Timonium Optimist Club 33295. We need to rethink the purpose of this particular resolution. It is not about social justice or social equality. In fact, in our particular district, not only did we have a transgender competitor, but that transgender competitor won. The issue at hand here is instead the rights of districts to choose the way that they are going to send contestants forward to the region. We have a dual gender contest in our district. We have made accommodations to send forward contestants to the region by electing an overall winner from those 2 genders. And that has worked out successfully so that we conform with the regional format that Optimist International holds for the further competitions. That's the issue at hand here, that districts have the right to choose which format they're going to use as long as they provide procedures to allow candidates to move forward, winners to move forward to the following regional and world championships. I would suggest perhaps a simple change in the way that the resolution is worded. Rather than saying will, we say may, to give the districts an opportunity to choose which format they want to use as long as the follow-up procedure to the regional and world contests conforms to OI rules. Is it possible to do that from the floor?
You have spoken before, so basically you can't speak again on the issue.
Okay.
Cannot offer an amendment. Okay, there be no more discussion. We will vote on the motion. Those in favor of the motion, please raise and hold up your voting cards. Thank you. You can put them down. Those opposed, please raise and hold up your voting cards. The chair rules that the ayes won. Vote motion carries.
The next resolution regarding essay and oratorical age rule, submitted by the Optimist Club of Ottawa, Kansas. Whereas 20.1%, 16 of 76, of our essay participants were declared ineligible to participate because they turned 18 prior to October 1st, and whereas a student's senior year in high school is a time when most students are exploring scholarship opportunities, and whereas a student's senior year is the last opportunity for them to win a scholarship in an Optimist International competition, and whereas, in the spirit of the Optimist Creed, we should be seeking ways to include participants in our scholarship competitions, not excluding them. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Optimist International direct the International Activities Committee to permanently change the age limit for the essay and oratorical scholarships from 18 to 19. Thus, it would read that all high school students are eligible to compete for these scholarships unless they turn 19 before October 1st of their senior year.
It has been moved and seconded by the committee to adopt the resolution as printed. Is there any discussion? The chair recognizes the speaker at the pro microphone.
Mr. President, thank you. I'm Dale Fox from the Ottawa, Kansas Optimist Club 37166. I've been asked the question how this might happen, that a student might be ineligible with a birthday in before October 1st, turning 18 his senior year, or her senior year. In Kansas, we have a law that says a student has to be 5 years old and must turn 5 prior to August 1st to become a kindergartner. If that person was born in August, therefore, if that person was born in August and turned 5 in August or September, when they are a senior in high school, they will turn 18 and therefore will be ineligible to participate in the contest, even though they're 18 years old, the same as their classmates are, who are also going to graduate in May of the following year. I think this is written in the supposition that a senior is a senior in high school, and if they are 18 years old, whether their birthday be in September or August or whether it be in January, they should be eligible for our contest. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the first speaker at the con microphone.
Oh, is it on? Sandra Larrabee, Essex Youth Center 45926. This issue of age has been debated. The age has been moved up, it's been moved down. I served as International Activities Chair 3 years ago. We wanted to come up with something that is consistent for all students in the countries that we serve. In Quebec, the Giuseppe, I believe it is called, their students move on, I believe it's after grade 11. We had to come up with something that was would work with our Optimist International year. We have students at 17 going into colleges and universities. So at that point, we decided on this date, and the reason was to create some consistency. Those students are aware of what the date is that they can qualify. If they really wanted to work towards that scholarship, they would do that in grade 11 if that was when they were going to turn 18. We do have to come up with something that is very consistent for our Quebec people, for our Jamaican, Caribbean people, and for our United States. Let's not change this again. It caused serious controversy several years ago when we put it up to 19 and we had to bring it back down to under the age of 18. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes speaker number 2 at the pro microphone.
Gary Williams, Camino Real Optimist Club 19625. I have a question. May I state a question?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This, the way this resolution is worded infers that the contest is restricted to high school students. Is that true?
Ron, you have an answer?
I'm sorry, didn't.
The question was, the way this is written, is this restricted to high school only?
No, it's not.
It infers that it is. We've had homeschoolers and 8th graders compete and win in our district. I would just seek some clarification on the issue at some point.
Mr. President? The rule is, which was created several years ago, is under the age of 18 as of October 1st of the current Optimist year. That is the rule, and it follows that rule. So anybody, whether they're an 8-year-old or a grade 11 or a grade 12 who doesn't turn 18 until November, is eligible to compete. It will take in young people as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Speaker recognizes the second speaker at the con microphone.
Pauline Langelier, Club Optimiste de Granby, 52261. Au Québec, on a le problème justement que à 18 et 19 ans, les étudiants sont rendus au niveau collégial et non plus au secondaire. Et même, il y en a qui, à 19 ans, sont rendus au niveau universitaire. Donc, je suis contre le fait de changer cette phrase-là, de mettre ça à 18, de passer de 18 à 19 ans, parce que ça va nous causer d'autres problèmes à nous autres aussi à ce moment-là. Puis, il faudra faire des lois spéciales pour le Québec. Je pense que ce n'est pas une chose à faire.
So in the province of Quebec, high school finishes after grade 11. Therefore, most students 17 and up are already in community college or at age 19, often in university. This creates a problem, and therefore we urge you to vote against the change to 19 years of age, because it will cause serious issues in Quebec that will need to be addressed by way of additional regulation or something.
Thank you. Merci. Speaker recognizes the speaker at the pro microphone.
Denise Nassif, Burlington, Ontario, 4747030. As a parent of a special needs student and an advocate for special needs students, I urge you to vote for this. In Ontario, our special needs students stay in school until they are 21. So by telling them that they have to be 18, often a child on the autism spectrum, perhaps with ADHD or other learning disabilities, may stay in school for longer, and it may be harder for them to actually do this. We want to encourage the inclusion of these students in these particular scholarship programs, because at the moment, often we're not getting them. And I, as a parent of a child on the autism spectrum, would love to see that inclusion and to see that open up. So I urge you to vote in favor of this, if for nothing else, for those students who need that little extra help.
Thank you. Chair recognizes a speaker at the pro microphone.
Michael DiNicola, the Optimist Club at Calgary, 13025. I'm all for us having an age limit where everybody in Optimist International can compete. What I've heard is that there's some problems with Quebec and Jamaica, but those problems are that the people still can compete. We're not restricting them from competing. On the other hand, if we don't pass this, we're restricting people from competing in the state of Kansas, okay? And I think the state of Kansas is considered to be one of the states or one of the areas of Optimist International. Therefore, we should approve this so that we really do include everybody in Optimist International.
Thank you. The chair recognizes the speaker at the con microphone.
Artist Moody, Lincoln Sports Complex Optimist Club, 10146. I speak neither for or against this amendment, but this motion, resolution, but would like to offer an amendment. It seems to me we all graduate kids from high school at some point. Instead of picking an arbitrary age, why don't we designate that students may compete through their senior year in high school?
Okay,
that
then
would work in Jamaica, in Kansas, in Quebec, and Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay, would you then please state your exact motion?
I would just eliminate the age and say that all high school students are eligible to compete for these scholarships through their senior year. Yes, please help. That would be wonderful. What we want to do here.
I don't want these guys hearing this, but what we did enjoy a few years ago is we said high school or its equivalent.
There you go.
So it covers everybody all over the Optimist world.
Perfect.
I would suggest that to you.
Right.
what he said. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
Did you get that?
That did not come through in the microphone. We have to have your motion so we can get it exactly in the minutes.
Okay, through high school or its equivalent, rather than a numerical age number.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
Kathleen Manchek, Optimist Club of the Stroudsburgs, 02295. I second the motion.
Okay, the chair recognizes the speaker at the pro microphone.
John Dina, Optimist Club in Naples, 61300. I was going to as well second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next question is there any debate on the amendment?
Mr. President, Dale Fox, Ottawa, Kansas Club 37166. I accept the amendment, so I don't think we have to vote on it. I will accept it as an amendment to replace the wording that was in the original one.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other debate on the amendment? Okay, if not, all those in favor of the amendment to the original motion, please raise your voting cards and keep them up. Those opposed, lower them. Those opposed, please raise your cards and hold them up. The chair rules that the amendment has passed. Now, is there any debate on the main motion as amended? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your cards and hold them up.
That all students in high school or its equivalent are eligible to compete through their senior year.
Okay, suspend discussion just for a second. Okay, whoever made that amendment, would you come forward so we can get the exact wording? Just come right up in front to Dana, so she can get the exact wording. Okay, we will read the motion as amended.
All students are eligible to compete through high school or its equivalent.
Okay, we're voting on the main motion as amended. Those in favor, please raise your voting cards and keep them up. Thank you. You may lower them. Those opposed, please raise your voting cards and hold them up. Motion carries.
The last resolution is a commendatory resolution submitted by the 2017 convention Resolutions Committee. Whereas an enormous amount of work goes into planning and executing a convention of this magnitude, and whereas many tireless hours of work have been devoted by many staff members and volunteer groups, such as all of the delegates attending this convention, the convention committee, the host area committee, and the many optimists that comprise the North Mexico West Texas District. Therefore, be it resolved that the attendees of the 99th Optimist International Convention commend all those individuals that have worked hard to make this convention a success.
It has been moved and seconded by the committee to adopt the resolution as printed. Is there any discussion? If not, those in favor, please raise your voting cards and keep them up. Thank you. May lower them. Those opposed, please raise your voting cards and hold them up. Motion carries.
Mr. President, that concludes the resolution report of the Governance Committee.
Thank you, Ron, and thanks to your committee. Ron will present the proposed amendments to our bylaws at the Saturday afternoon session, so be sure to bring your voting materials with you when you return. Okay, speaker at the con mic.
Yes, Larry Gendro from the Chico Optimist Club, number 20545. And I dissented for the motion that was presented at the beginning of the meeting for the reason that I thought it overly restricted the abilities of a club president to do what he has to do to run his club. I am willing to...
Point of order.
Right, he's withdrawing his objection.
Okay, you can't, yeah. What are you trying to say? You cannot debate the motion. So what's your point?
My point is that I'm removing my dissent so that the motion can
Thank you.
be
That's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, from the parliamentarian, bear with me. The chair recognizes the change of the vote results in the unanimous consent to hear this item in tomorrow's business session. Therefore, the chair rules that this matter will move forward by unanimous consent. Okay, before we break, I want to remind you that the second business session will be held tomorrow afternoon beginning at 1 o'clock. So please bring your voting materials. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be discussing and voting on the bylaw amendments at that time. We will also meet the optimists you elect to do international office, as well as the 27-18 international leadership team from next year, and from next year's president, Nick Prilliman. At this time, if they are still here, Nicole Paquette and Jean Paquette, could you come to the podium? They're there. Okay. We're going to do something different today. We will be doing the Optimist Creed in French. Nicole and Jean.
Je promets d'être fort au point que rien ne puisse troubler ma sérénité d'esprit, de parler de santé, de bonheur et de prospérité à toute personne que je rencontrerai, d'inculquer à mes amis la confiance en eux-mêmes, de ne considérer que le bon côté des choses en véritable optimisme.
De ne songer qu'au mieux, de ne travailler que pour le mieux et de n'espérer que le mieux. De manifester autant d'enthousiasme pour le succès des autres que pour les miens. D'oublier les erreurs passées et de voir à faire mieux à l'avenir. D'avoir toujours l'air gai et de sourire à toute personne que je rencontrerai. De consacrer autant de temps à améliorer moi-même que je n'aurai pas le temps de critiquer les autres. D'être trop magnanime pour me tracasser, trop noble pour m'irriter, trop fort pour craindre et trop heureux pour me laisser troubler.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
At this time, I declare this meeting in recess until 1 o'clock on Saturday. Had a great afternoon.
Underneath the trees, we watch the sky, confusing stars, the satellites. I never dreamed that you'd be mine, but here we are, we're here tonight, singing, hey, man, I'm alive, singing, hey, man, I'm alive. Nobody died, and I'm singing.